Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today we're going to demystify a monumental challenge that pretty much every modern enterprise is facing right now. We hear about AI literally everywhere, right? But the gap between a really cool experimental pilot in the lab and a robust, production-grade system that actually transforms a business, well, that gap is massive. So to figure out how to successfully cross it, we really need to understand something called the data maturity curve.
Here's a quick look at how we're going to break this all down today. We'll start with the analytics evolution, then move into predicting financial outcomes and prescribing the best action. After that, we'll talk about actually transitioning from pilot to production, look at a blueprint for scaling, and finally wrap up with the agentic AI future.
Section 1. The analytics evolution from dashboards to decisions.
To really get a baseline of how analytics are evolving, let's look at a relatable, real-world scenario. Picture two people, Barry the analyst and his boss, VP Mary. They work in the marketing function of a consumer packaged goods company, and honestly, their journey perfectly mirrors what most businesses are going through today. So Mary starts off stuck in the descriptive phase of analytics. She's constantly having to ask, okay, what just happened? And she's totally relying on Barry's real-time spend dashboards just to keep her marketing budget from going off the rails. It's basically rear-view mirror analytics. Sure, it's helpful for tracking what already occurred and sticking to a budget, but it doesn't give you a single ounce of strategic foresight.
Section 2. Predicting Financial Outcomes, the Predictive Upgrade. Well, Mary pretty quickly realized that just looking backward wasn't going to cut it if she wanted to actually anticipate customer churn or secure future deals. I mean, to get promoted and really drive revenue, she needed to know what was coming around the corner. So the game changer here is that Barry upgraded their system to predictive analytics. This is where you combine advanced algorithms and machine learning with both historical and real-time data to actually forecast outcomes. Instead of just showing past spending, Barry's new models could accurately predict the likelihood of customer churn before a customer even thought about leaving. This is that massive fundamental shift from asking what happened to asking what will happen.
And you know what? Mary and Barry are definitely not alone in making this leap. According to NetSuite's data, a staggering 58% of finance functions are currently piloting these exact types of AI forecasting tools in 2024. That is up huge from just 37% the year prior. Businesses are literally rushing to leverage AI so they can anticipate cash flow shortfalls, spot emerging market trends, and run these incredibly complex what-if scenarios at a speed that humans just cannot match.
Section 3. Prescribing the best action, optimization, and strategy.
But the journey absolutely does not stop there. Even with all this predictive foresight, Mary hit a brand new wall. She knew a specific customer segment was likely to churn, which is great, but she still didn't know the absolute best way to spend her advertising dollars to fix the problem. And this just brilliantly illustrates the leap from predictive to prescriptive analytics. We're moving from asking what will happen to asking what exactly should I do about it. Mary had the foresight, but she needed a tool that could mathematically prescribe the ultimate strategy to minimize her costs while maximizing her profit.
Barry's solution to this was prescriptive analytics. Gartner actually considers this the most transformational form of advanced analytics out there. Barry built a prescriptive model that represented Mary's entire end-to-end business. So this system didn't just predict sales, it precisely calculated exactly which products to promote, on what channels, when to do it, and exactly how much money to spend. It took all the crazy constraints of their specific business and spit out the mathematically optimal business decision.
Section 4. Transitioning pilot to production, leaving the lab.
Okay, so now that we understand the immense value of these AI technologies, moving all the way from descriptive to predictive to prescriptive, the big million-dollar question is, how do you actually deploy them reliably at a global scale? Transitioning from a neat, isolated pilot into a full-scale production environment is fraught with challenges. But, as Capgemini's research highlights, the rewards in operational efficiency, massive cost savings, and innovation are totally worth it. It just requires moving way beyond the technology itself and fundamentally changing how the business operates.
And the momentum behind this is undeniable. Capgemini found that 80% of organizations have increased their generative AI investments just over the past year alone. They're aggressively chasing tangible, proven benefits, like seeing nearly an 8% improvement in productivity and roughly a 7% enhancement in customer engagement. AI is absolutely no longer a curiosity. It's a core strategic imperative for survival. To see how this transition works in the real world, let's take a look at ABN AMRO. They're a major bank serving millions of clients, and they are a perfect example of doing this right.
They didn't just plug in a generic AI chatbot and cross their fingers. No, they partnered with Capgemini to meticulously transition to Microsoft Copilot. They set up incredibly strict AI guardrails to ensure regulatory compliance and factual accuracy. And I absolutely love this detail. They rigorously stress-tested the AI using scenarios called internal breakathons. They literally tried to break the AI to find any vulnerabilities before it ever reached a single real customer.
The results of that rigorous scaling process are super striking. By safely bringing this tech into production, ABN AMRO is projecting a massive drop in their need for human intervention. Before GenAI, 30% of their 2 million annual conversations required human support. With GenAI, they project that's going to drop to 23%. Think about that at a scale of 2 million conversations. This doesn't just save a ton of money. It actually frees up their human advisors to focus on high-value strategic financial consulting rather than just answering routine questions.
Section 5. The Blueprint for Scaling. A framework for enterprise success.
So to achieve that kind of enterprise-wide impact, Capgemini's research dictates that you need a truly holistic blueprint. You cannot just treat AI as a little side IT project. It has to completely align with your broader business value chain if you want to replicate ABN AMRO's success and avoid getting forever stuck in pilot purgatory.
This comprehensive blueprint maps out 6 interconnected pillars that you absolutely have to tackle. You need an enterprise AI strategy that is deeply tied to business goals. You need a dedicated AI operating model. You must have a responsible AI framework to handle things like data bias. You have to train and acquire specialized AI talent. You desperately need a pristine data foundation. And finally, you need a highly scalable AI tech stack. If even one of these 6 pillars is weak, your whole scaling effort is going to collapse.
But wait, even with this clear blueprint laid out, we really have to pause and ask a hard question. If we all know the steps, why do so many highly funded, super well-intentioned AI pilots still completely stall out before they ever reach production?
Well, the research points out a few massive pitfalls. First up is uncontrolled costs. Building the model is just a tiny fraction of the cost. The real expense hits with change management and continuous optimization. Second is legacy IT integration. Trying to shove cutting-edge AI into decades-old back-end systems causes massive friction. And third is neglecting continuous evaluation. Way too many leaders treat AI like a microwave, just set it and forget it. But AI models drift and degrade over time. They require constant, ongoing monitoring and refinement.
Section 6. The Agentic AI Future. Autonomous Operations. Now, if an organization can actually navigate those brutal pitfalls, build those 6 pillars, and successfully scale, they unlock the ultimate final phase of the data maturity curve, agentic AI. And this is where things get truly sci-fi. These advanced systems combine large language models with your specific enterprise data and code to autonomously make independent decisions. Think back to Mary for a second. Prescriptive analytics told her what she should do. Well, agentic AI will actually execute the marketing campaign for her, monitor the real-time results, and adjust the budget across all channels instantly without any human intervention at all.
As Walter L. from Microsoft points out, high-performing organizations are nearly 3 times as likely to build an AI foundation that enables reuse across solutions. Preparing for this autonomous agentic future means you have to build a robust, reusable AI architecture right now. You simply can't afford to build custom, one-off pipelines for every single new AI tool you want to try. You need a deeply modular foundation.
And that brings us to our final thought for today. Ultimately, as your enterprise scales from descriptive dashboards looking in the rearview mirror to prescriptive tools giving you optimal strategies to independent AI agents that actually execute complex tasks completely on their own, the most critical question you have to answer is this. Is your data foundation, your operations, and your culture strong enough to finally surrender the steering wheel? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this look at the data maturity curve helps you navigate your own AI journey.